Hi, so it happened again. I ran out of storage on my phone and the video stopped. I must have been talking for about 10 minutes or so, but it stopped just after I finished explaining everything about the Fool card. And I was just about to start on the Union energy, so that's where I will continue from. And this is what I meant, like, it's very much, this is probably the third or the fourth time that I've tried to record this. Excuse me, I think it's the fourth. So, excuse me, there's definitely a reason for it. So, like I said, with the Union energy, it's very much to do with, this is a general feeling of the macrocosm of how the energies are right now for the twin flame, the true twin flame collective, and what the energies are that are available to us, but they are very specifically reflected in the microcosm as well. So that's the individual unions that are happening, and it's up to you to garner whatever messages you get from what I tell you. Life is all about perspectives at the end of the day. Like I said, that's what I specialize in when you come to a reading with me. There's only like sort of 13 cards here, 14 cards, but there's a lot of time and a lot of energy that goes into the messages that come through, so they're quite profound. Anyway, let's start with the general collective energies. We've got here number 21, Embrace, which is the World card, and it's turned in reverse. And this represents kind of, for many people, their worlds have been turned upside down in some way, shape or form. This could either be their perspective, this could be physical situations. Many people could have job situations. Many people are actually literally moving to other parts of the world, geographically, other parts of the globe as well. I might be one of them. But it could also very much mean a change in perspective, or plans that you had that you thought were rock solid. Things have been shaken up. I'm also getting a slight kind of almost a tower energy from it. It's quite sudden. Many people have done, but it's not exactly a tower energy. It just has a little bit of that flavour to it. It's very much the world being flipped. So perhaps your perspectives on the twin flame journey, you thought it would never happen, but now you're thinking, actually, you're seeing the possibility. For some of you, again, like I said, it could be new jobs, it could be opportunities, it could be the chance to relocate somewhere, moving house. It could also be things not working out, like maybe you were trying to move and that didn't happen, or lots of surprises, and it's kind of teaching you to not, to always expect the unexpected. And in that respect, anything is possible. That's the lesson that you should be able to learn, because ultimately, when you go through spiritual, when you do spiritual practice, or what we call as sadhana in Hinduism, it's so that you'll always be able to handle life in a way where anything is cool. You embrace the positive stuff, you embrace the negative stuff with the same attitude, because at the end of the day, you're trying to transcend everything. So whatever happens, you maintain your equilibrium, your poise, and your your own energy. So that's what we're learning to do here. But many things have changed. There are lots and lots of changes. So that's what's just happened. And this is also reflected with the masculine. It's just starting. With the feminine, it's deepening. They're ascending. Again, I'm going to use that word, ascension. They are progressing, rather, on this journey, learning new lessons, coming to new stages of life and of self-knowledge and of learning. So, an experience. So it's all good stuff, so we can have some fun kind of exploring our new terrain. This card right here is number 5. It's the Hierophant, and it's very important right now, because in relation to this, many people are having doubts about the twin flame journey as well. That's another thing. A lot of people are dropping off. A lot of people are not resonating with a lot of the teachings that they're hearing. This card is, as well as being called Teach, and is a representation of the Hierophant. I know it's upright, but this is also a card about learning. In the deck it mentions in the book it's very much to do with learning as well as teaching, and I really, really like that interpretation of the card. Because for many people, if you notice, there are so many teachings that are seemingly quite contradictory. Also, I've been saying for a while, and I've been thinking for a while, you've got to be really, really wary about people who are jumping onto the twin flame bandwagon, who aren't twin flames, and they don't quite get it. No one's going to get it unless you're on this path, really and truly. But it's up to you as individuals to discriminate between what is good for you, what resonates with you, and what doesn't. I should not have to be telling you this, especially if you're listening to my channel. I cater, and my intent is for people who have a certain level of understanding. I don't want to teach you like it's kindergarten, because I'm not here to teach. I'm just here to give you a few messages, and it's up to you to put the pieces together and see how they fit in your own life. I specialize, like I said, in my personal readings in shedding some light on the areas that you need to look at, but ultimately it's up to you to look at them, and I never tell you what to do. I just tell you, I give you some suggestions, some pointers, and some general guidance. I might give you some specific stuff as well, but it's totally up to you what you take and what you don't. But I specialize in my aim is to empower people. So, and I know that with many readers and healers that I've been to, they're very much kind of, they try and impose their way. They have tried to impose their way on me, and it's never really worked out that way. So what this means, why I'm telling you this, is that it's becoming more and more and more important for us as individuals to be selective in what we let enter our energy field and what we put out as well. Because you as a twin flame are also going to have to step into your role, not as so much a teacher as in like, oh yes, everybody listen to me, I'm gonna, you have to follow me and preach, I know the way. That's not what it's about. But you are gonna have to be holding this kind of ambassadorial role. That was the reason why so many people decided to come here, and not in a you don't have to force it, you just have to be yourself. And people, the idea is, I believe, people look at you, they really like your energy, and that's what triggers a change in them. So it's a very natural, very organic process. Like, it's like this, you manifest something, you change, and then it grows, and it happens naturally, and it branches out. It doesn't have to be that you go out there and force the thing to happen in a very certain way. That's not how it is. So right now also I'm been guided to remind you of the old phrase of, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And also you get the teacher that you deserve as well. So if you are in a really disempowered space, and you're wanting to give your power away to everyone else, and this will happen probably at a certain stage in your journey. And if that's you, this is not the channel for you. I'll say that straight up. There are other places where you can go for that, and it's great for the stage that it's at. I'm much more kind of, you have to be, I'm much more about making you aware that the power is always yours to begin with. The responsibility, the choices, whatever you choose to accept or reject, whatever you choose to do or not, it's all up to you. And whatever situation you're in, it's down to you as well. It's down to choices that you've made in your past. Like, so many people out there seem to be angry, from what I hear, and a message that I got as well. Like, I deleted it because I don't need that kind of negativity. But I'll mention it more in the energy report. But there seem to be a lot of people getting angry at readers and teachers because they seem to think that we're always talking about union, and then it doesn't happen. I am saying, for many people, physical union, the portal is here. I don't like that word portal, but the energies are really, really, really supporting and pushing for physical union. It's there, but it's up to you to go and take it. It's not going to just fall from the sky in your lap. That's not how things work. You have to take action, you have to be a certain way, and you have to want it. There are so many different little subtle things that need to happen, and the precise, combination of those things are unique to every situation. It's almost like a certain one. There's no master key that I'm aware of that's gonna, open every single one. It's each lock and each key is each divine masculine and each divine feminine. So it's unique in that way. And how you open it, the combination is known to only you two. So that's what you guys need to figure out. In terms of teachings, there's also going to be a lot of new teachers coming up because people aren't going to be resonating with what's currently already out there. And there's going to be new truths that people are going to create because, this is a creative process. And I'm not saying that people are going to move away from it completely, but there's a big opening for evolution to happen right now. And we're all going to be learning and teaching, and don't forget that the best teachers are also the best students. So the more open you can be, free-flowing in terms of like this exchange of knowledge, because we are all here to teach each other as well. There's a lot of that. Again, this is the people, the real twin flames. There's a lot of as with any spiritual organisation and spiritual phenomenon, I should say, there's always going to be charlatans. It's not something that you can regulate. There's no such thing as, it's not possible to have a group of people that can regulate this, because it's by nature, and that's the way it should be, because by nature it's very, very subjective. In India and Hinduism, spiritual people are always seekers. They're never people that follow rules and doctrines blindly. It's always to do with being a seeker. You have to ask questions, you have to have debates, you have to question absolutely everything, and until you come into an experience of it yourself. So it's very much to do with experience rather than just dry knowledge, which is pointless really. So that's the kind of new depth of understanding and of teaching, and everything that's kind of in the process of blossoming and coming to existence in our community, essentially, at the moment. And again, it's a really, really, really good time to be very, very, really listen to yourself and align yourself with people that you resonate with. It's not a good idea to just listen to again, I know that on certain stages of the path it's really tempting to just listen to absolutely everything out there, and if that's what you need to do right now, go for it. But after some time, you will notice naturally that there are only certain people that you want to keep listening to, or you'll notice that you don't want to listen to anyone at all, and you'll only want to listen to yourself. And that is a very, very, very sure sign, in my opinion, of your own spiritual advancement. It's always good to have a balance, but the more you can listen to yourself, the better, because again, at the end of the day, your own intuition is the only teacher you will ever, ever, ever have. Reminds me of another Osho quote that I recently saw. Actually shared it to someone in a reading as well, but it's basically just saying whatever, it's only your own intuition that you'll ever end up listening to, whether you know it or not. That's one meaning for it anyway. So with all this teaching and all this learning, where's it gonna this sharing and absorption of knowledge, where's that going to lead to? New knowledge, so everything, a change in perception and circumstances, new learning, new experiences, and new expression, essentially. And once we make sense of that, where's it going to go to? It's going to go here to this card, which is the Six of Pentacles, a representation of the Six of Pentacles. It's called Giving and Receiving. Sorry, I think you can see it better there. It's called Giving and Receiving, and it's the only pentacle cards in this whole spread. Both the masculine and the feminine both have two swords cards representing the element of air and thought. So there's a lot of mental stuff happening, a lot of stuff to do with the Ajna chakra, the third eye chakra, and also this is like the only other kind of card that represents something that's not a major arcana. and it's earth. It's the element of earth, and it's again reflecting of a very, very sure sign of physical reunion, because that is on the cards, and it's the plan, the soul mission for many, many, many twin flames, tons of us. And there's a huge opportunity to get closer to that right now, but it's in your hands. The power is in your hands. And these four, one massive thing for me is you know, a yogic process called Bhuta Shuddhi, which is cleansing of the elements. It's very, very basic to yoga, especially South Indian yoga and the tradition of siddhas. But the elements are, there's 5 elements actually, but they are air, earth, fire and water. And these 4 elements, there's also ether. Ether is not something that we can, which is space, or you know, the thing, not as in a vacuum, but it's the space that everything exists in. And that's not something that you can control. It's not got a physical, you know, representation other than space. While as water is emotions, air is the mind, fire is your energies, your actual life energies, and earth is the physical body. Now, these are all things that are part of our physical existence, and we're here to, as twin flames, to influence all of those spheres, all of those different elements of our life. And these are the building blocks for the existence of the universe, basically. So, you know, we have a big role to play, as does every human being. I hate all this absolute nonsense about, you know, twin flames are here to save the world, and we're like, you know, we're just amazing, and all this really self-important, inflated sense of importance. That's not what it's about. And also that places needless pressure on us to kind of do stuff. Essentially, every single human being has the ability to transform their surroundings. We might have that ability a little bit more, and we might have a little bit more divine assistance and a sense of community, and we might be quite powerful beings to start off with. But essentially, you have to think about things in our experience, and unless that's very, very clear for you in your current perception, it's nothing but a hallucination. So make it a reality, and if you do that, then fine. If not, please don't go around thinking that you're actually a lot more, you know, like don't exaggerate it. Basically, it doesn't really help anyone. Anyway, this card, it's actually a number 6 card, and going back to what we're kind of bringing into the world, it's all about giving and receiving. What are we receiving? We're receiving the light. What are we giving? We're also giving the light. We're giving this kind of divine energy, this a sense of balance. Like we're currently in the again, like in the Hindu kind of cosmology and sense of time, we're in the age called the Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga means the age of darkness, and darkness means ignorance. We are here to bring a lot of light, because from the Kali Yuga, which is at the bottom of the cycle in terms of I guess vibrations, it's the lower vibrational time. Then it goes into the Treta Yuga, the Dwapara Yuga, and the Satya Yuga. And the most you know, the highest age is the Satya Yuga, and Satya means truth, essentially. So we're kind of in that revolution right now. And I know a lot of people are saying, oh yeah, you know, this level of ascension's never happened before. That's not the case in Hindu cosmology, I believe. On this planet alone, it's meant to be like the 4th or something like that. But anyway, that's completely different kettle of fish. What I wanted to say about this card was, so with these changes that have happened already, for most people anyway, it might be a little bit different for you, maybe it's still to come, but most of the time, like where we are right now, people are starting to see that, you know, there's a need to have some new truths and some new learnings and some new experiences and new sharings. So it's great to see new teachers come up, and also the current teachers, it's great to see them evolve, and perspectives are changing and expanding. And where that's going to, you know, take us to is to closer to physical reunion. Also, number 6 is a relationship card, and to me, it's always been a relationship between a man and a woman, so romantic relationships, which leads to families, so family relationships, which makes up society. So it's individuals who make up partnerships, who make up families, who make up communities, and that's the world is just a collection of communities, and if you have peace within yourself, you can have peace within a relationship, or happiness within a relationship, happiness within yourself, and then that expands to peace and happiness in the family, and then and happiness in society. So that is how the microcosm fits into the macrocosm. Again, this is such an amazing reading. I am so privileged that it's I feel so privileged and humbled that it's come through me. So I'm just, oh my god, I'm in awe of how beautifully it's actually been laid out and crafted and communicated. So thank you so much to the guides and the helpers for communicating that. And I hope that this makes sense for you. So even though things might seem a bit crazy at the moment, this is still very much the plan, and it's very much there. But how you choose to deal with it is up to you. I'm also being told the Divine Feminine throwing herself into it is actually quite pivotal for it to happen, because right now she's still the one kind of leading this whole process a little bit like, and the masculine will follow. So be very aware of that. And the masculine is in a place where he's still kind of watching the feminine on some energetic level. So, because I think for a lot of the contracts, the feminine was the one that was meant to awaken first and, get that kind of refined spiritual knowledge that will kickstart these kind of happenings in the divine masculine. So that's where we are. This is still very, very, a physical union is still very, very possible. It's definitely going to happen, like, put it that way, for the people that it's going to happen to. I don't have any kind of timelines. It's just that right now there's a huge opportunity to take leaps and bounds closer towards it. But everyone's journeys are going to be unique, and what you choose to do with your life in the meantime is totally up to you. But just be aware that everything has consequences. My personal view is, well, actually I feel very guided to say, at the very least, at least until like September, the next couple of months, at least until the end of August and the start of September, try not to do anything rash out of ego and fear, as in try not to just run into the arms of any kind of karmic, if you feel guided to do it, and if it feels right, by all means do, because then it could probably be a really good thing for you. But again, it's down to you to know. But always, at least for this time, don't turn your back on the twin flame journey. Don't just completely write it off. You can do what you want. It's up to you, but have it open in your mind as a possibility. That's all I ask for everyone. At this time, I keep getting told this phase is very important for the divine masculine to sort himself out, to actually come up to see some aspects of himself, and also for the feminine to really hold his space and show compassion for him, because we've already been where he's been for the most part. But it might not happen on a physical, it might not happen in the same way for them, but energetically, I'm being told, like, their physical experience might be very difficult. So looking at them, you might not think that it's the same experience at all, but on a different level, it's a path that we already tread. So just be compassionate, just hold his space, just be patient for the next kind of month to 6 weeks. And then after that, we'll cross that bridge once we get to it. Okay, so I believe that's pretty much the end of the reading. I really, really hope that you've enjoyed it as much as I have enjoyed doing it. And I will be back after I hit 1,000 subscribers with an energy read, and yeah, just to say thank you, and yeah, I'll connect with you next time. Blessings, peace, bye.